Hello, everyone. I'm here to share my project about agriculture. I want to help with the agriculture industry. Gardening takes a lot of water, effort, and space. And with the harsh Canadian weather, a lot of people want to garden in the comfort of their own homes. So I developed a practical indoor farming structure that combines vertical farming and automated drip irrigation that reduces water while maximizing plant growth. This system uses a water pump to deliver water throughout the system and drips right into the root of the plant through drippers. The base structure consists of wooden pieces and baking cooling trays. Then I connected clear tubes to the water pump and added drippers to make the drip system. After settling on a practical design, I conducted an experiment to test the efficiency of my system against the controlled traditional spray gardening method. To start the experiment, I used cat grass to test the system. I measured the height of the plants and the amount of water used to water those plants each day, and these are the results. After calculating the amount of water used for the experimentals and the controlled, I found that the system saved a total of 850 milliliters of water in a week compared to the controlled spray method. I also calculated the plant's height in each pot, and the average plant height from the system is 0.057 centimeters taller than the plants in the controlled pot. So this structure saves a total of 850 milliliters of water in a week compared to the controlled spray method. That's 44.2 liters of water in a year, and that's only for 6 plant pots. If I were to scale the amount up to 1,000 plant pots for a mini farm, then this structure would save a total of 7,366.7 liters of water in a year. So this data collected proves that the vertical farming drip system works well and is more economical and efficient in saving water, space, and effort since it's automated than the controlled spray method. Plus, it gives better plant results. Thank you.
Thank you, Mimi. So stay on the phone here as we will get some questions from our judges. Hussein and Meredith.
Yeah, love it. I love when you say water. I come from before coming to Canada, I lived in Syria, and drought is a big issue. So, and around the world, I mean, we're blessed here in Vancouver, but around the world, we have an issue with water for sure. So what drove you to think about that, and how does the impetus of the idea came to you?
I used to live in Vietnam before I moved to Canada. And when I moved to Canada, I lived in New Brunswick, where in Vietnam, water isn't as much abundance as in Canada. And when it's in New Brunswick, their weather was really harsh because there was like 8 months of snow in a year, 6 to 8 months. So it's very hard to plant anything outdoors. So I wanted to make a way that's practical for people to plant indoors and saving water for countries like Vietnam where they don't have enough water.
Wonderful, thanks. Meredith?
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. You know, I think what really impresses me the most actually is your sort of analytical approach, just really like collecting the data, you know, and taking this trial and then extrapolating that data over time and over usage in different ways. Like what I'm curious about is like, what are next steps for you, do you think? What do you want to, you know, you've gotten this far. What do you think is the next step for this innovation for you?
I really wanted to put into the market because my goal was to make this really practical and simple for people to make it at home. So my design, I made multiple designs and I settled on this one because it was the easiest for people to build at home. So it's kind of like a DIY project where if I implement this in the market, it would be interesting to a lot of people because it's very simple. So my uncle owns a hardware factory where I really want to implement this and put it into hardware stores.
Great. Cool. Do we have any other questions from the judges online? Not seeing any. Any final thoughts, Meredith, Hussein, for Mimi?
Super impressed. Definitely, Meredith was spot on with like the scientific method of measuring and all that. It's really refreshing. All the presentations that I've seen so far is really refreshing. This new wave of entrepreneurs at this age, for me, it's mind blowing. I'm really excited for Vancouver and entrepreneurship in Canada and in BC. If that's what we're seeing, for sure.
Awesome.
Well done, everyone. Well done, everyone.
Awesome. So Mimi, we're going to end it there. Thank you so much. Great job. You can log off, and you can log off your slides. And we're going to transition now to our next finalist.